What's up, guys? I'm here. Happy Friday to everybody, but I'm not happy today. I got a message from Tradingview saying that they're going to be canceling their streams, and it's like a punch to the gut. Um, I'm going to say what I'm going to say here, but this is going to be it's from my last stream on Tradingview, that's for sure, and we'll see what I do from here on out. But hey, Casey, what's up? You're always a consistent viewer. I appreciate you. We'll talk about some more. I wanted to really talk about volume profile today because I've had a great freaking week until about an hour ago. And yeah, we'll see if we can get to that. But yeah, let's do the intro music, let people filter in, and then we'll talk about it. This, by the way, is my first ever post on TradingView, which was in April of 2014. So yeah, get through the music. All right. What's up, guys? Happy Friday. What's up, traders? Well, this isn't a fun one because about few hours ago, I got this message from the Tradingview team. They're going to be canceling all their streaming and yeah, deleting all the streams I have off the platform. They're going to shift to something else. I've got some things I want to say to it, but I feel like I've been punched in the gut. I really want to talk about volume profile today, like I did, because this week I've had another good week of trading it. There's been an awesome setup and traversal on Bitcoin this week that I really want to show you guys because I think it's really you gotta start using volume profile. You really do. And normally I would say TradingView is you got to use it. Because I mean it's so easy to draw on it, and that's true. It is the best in class software. TradingView is, and I say that every opportunity that I get. But they want to go in a different direction. I'm not sure what I'm going to do because I really appreciate everybody that joins me on TradingView. It's where I actually get most of my views. I'm not one of these 100K follower type of people. Actually, I'm just gonna read here at the top, and we'll get into some trading stuff. I promise. But I had about an hour or two to kind of process my emotions here, and yeah, I mean it's hey, what's up, David? What's up, man? Yeah, you get to listen to me complain for a second here, but yeah, we'll do all the same thing. Get the same stuff in the chat. We'll talk about it. I appreciate you guys being a part and joining. But yeah, TradingView people, I guess you're gonna have to go on Discord when I stream it or YouTube. But I feel like I got better people, more engaged oftentimes through TradingView because that's where traders are going to be, and I'm just very disappointed about it. I mean, let me just read this real. Bear with me, guys, because this is what I'm going to send to TradingView, and I'll try to get through it and not be too emotional about it. But at first, I was at a loss for words, but I have a few. I'm a self-directed trader that loves trading and your platform. Every opportunity that I have, I would talk about how great TradingView was. I use it in an old man voice, and I'll say, back in my day, I had to manually download OHLC data and import it into Sierra Chart. And then I'd have to update it every day if I wanted to trade Bitcoin. These kids, they don't know how good they have it. Yeah, you're very low quality. Over the last few months, more and more of my followers have been telling me, hey, like, they're really cutting back on their free features and, jacking up their prices. And I've defended TradingView. Because, I tell people if you're trading, it needs to be a business expense. And, I presume this decision was based on streams not being a source of positive revenue. And that sucks. I guess it's business. I used to be in business, IT, but now I'm privileged enough I just pull money impersonally out of the markets. I have a hard time asking for people for money. In fact, I just don't. I don't want to take people's money, and maybe that's wrong. I stream consistently to maybe a dozen people on each platform. I think probably I get about over the course of all mine, I get about 50 views a week. I don't have flashy production value, but I hope that my enthusiasm for markets and trading would kind of come through and speak to people because I really want to teach the people that get a big following in trading and all that kind of stuff. They're the ones that sell classes, indicators, programs, algos, AI, trade for you, copy signals, all that kind of stuff to make it easy for people. And I don't think trading is easy. I don't think it should be. I mean, you're directing your money. It's up to you to do it. I mean, I put a lot more time into trading than I do in getting views, and I don't do that kind of stuff. I had a trading educator over a decade ago. He took money from me. He taught me a lot of what I do now, but it left me with kind of a bad taste in my mouth, and so I want to teach for free. But maybe that's wrong because people don't value what's freely given. They really do value being charged money, flashy productions, and confirmation bias. It's a 100K follower account that keeps telling people to buy the hot stuff and tells people what they hear. They're just going to get more attention, and people are going to listen to them more. Ironically, nobody wants to hear that thing that you're buying that everyone thinks is the best thing is going to $1 million. is actually just probably a exit liquidity scam for BlackRock. Nobody wants to hear that. I thought that maybe just being real to myself, I could find some success growing with TradingView. I thought that maybe they would, do the work for me, and grow their streaming and be like Twitch or something like that for trading. But I guess they didn't really want to do that. That was wrong. And you know what? If as a trader, if I am wrong and I persist in being wrong, then I don't have any money. It's just a fact. Like I'm able to. I have a big ego. I have emotions, but if I'm wrong, I've learned the hard way that you stop being wrong. Like, so I'll take this like another blown account, from I used to have years ago. Blown out account, taking on too much leverage. Forex is what I blew myself out on back in 2010. It hurts. I'll get over it, but I don't like you guys as much anymore. So that's what I'm going to send them here. And then we'll talk about some trading. Whatever. You can watch if you want to. I'll do it later. Anyway. What's up, guys? So, yeah, if you guys got things to look at. By the way, David, I'll find out what that is in TradingView. Like normal, I usually say I do this every Friday. I think I'll still probably do that. Jen's probably not going to let me quit. But I need to probably have listened to Jen a little bit because, all this time, I guess I should have been like trying to draw people into some paid class or something like that, but I didn't want to. But that's what seems to work because I guess if you're not making money, the people that, host your platform are just not going to do it anymore. But what I think actually makes money is volume profile. And man, we've had some really good. This looks like crazy volatility on Bitcoin, I know, but it actually is going to make sense when I kind of put it into some volume profile. That it was a beautiful, beautiful hold this week, and I want to talk about that. But if you got symbols to look at, just like every week, I want you guys to put it in the chat. We'll get to that in the last half of the live stream where I look at symbols. I'll give my honest opinion on it. If I think there's a setup, is not. As I said, I use this live streaming to teach and also to crowdsource ideas because I can't look at every single instrument out there. So I really, really appreciate you guys watching this. Watch it while you can, I guess. All right. Oh, I'm definitely going to continue my Discord, 100%. Because I was so earlier today I was talking to Bitcoin Maximalist chat, because they ping me because it's going down, and I mean who else would have told them it was going down? And they want me to come in and maybe. I'm trying not to be egotistical about it, but the guy said like, hey, like he didn't like that I was bearish on Bitcoin, and he said, well, where can I find your trades so I can inverse you? I'm like, bro, you don't have to bet with me, but you don't want to bet against me. This is what I do, okay? And it's a lot easier. I've been wrong about number going up because I've had kind of an ego about BlackRock buying Bitcoin. Like, I didn't get into Bitcoin for that. You guys are crazy, man. What do you think that BlackRock wants to make you money? Really? You think that's what they're trying to do here, make you rich? But it's a lot easier to say like, oh, well, everything you say is wrong. And I'm just going to go against everything you say because this opinion, I don't want to entertain the fact that it may be right. Because that would be very difficult because then my dreams of being rich for just buying one thing would not come true. Anyway. No, I'm going to keep doing Discord. I'll be here. I mean, but that's what I told him, by the way. That's why I said that, was because you can go on my Discord and you can see me trading. I try to post my trades when I do it. I'm not a signal service, but my Discord, whether anyone is there talking to me or not, is my way of being accountable because somebody might be watching, and if I'm going to put something out there, I'm going to be first accountable to myself, but that's what my Discord is for accountability. It's for people to hopefully learn from, but primarily I have it there for self accountability. That's truth. That's truth. All right, let me catch on chat real quick. Yeah, so Sahad or yeah, it's true for the last stream for TradingView because they're gonna stop all streaming April 7th and then delete all my streams May 1st. So that last part is that kind of sucks to have your body of work, cut off, but they're still on YouTube. Um, so yeah, I appreciate you guys being here too. Yeah, we'll look at Bitcoin here in a second. Your junk metal guy says to look at TSLY. Yeah, I'll look at all. I'll catch up on all these. So, yeah. I'm not gonna call out that name, Chart Monday. There's no need to, because I did learn a lot, but I outgrew them. I mean, basically, I I took a lot of what I learned, and I kept working on it, and then eventually I got to the point where, as a trader, I would take trades. I learned how the market worked, and I kind of figured out that this guy wasn't actually taking trades. He was telling you how to trade, but I never actually saw him take trades. And especially, I never saw him take trades before they happened. He would very often come back and say, hey, look at this trade that I made. Look at how much money it made after it happened. And from that point on, if I'm going to talk about a trade, win or lose, I'm going to post it out there, and it's going to be wrong, and people are going to tell me that I'm an idiot, and LOL, you lost money. But you know what? It's out there. You can see my wins and my losses. And like I said, it's about accountability. But that's not what gets people to follow you. That's not what gets views. People want to be told what they already believe, that this thing they're buying is going to make them really, really rich. That's what they want to hear every day. It may not be true, but they don't want to hear it. So, Benoit, I appreciate that, but it seems really it's going to be kind of hard because I use TradingView for all of my streams. I mean, it's such a great platform for charting. I can't. I make money off of TradingView because that's where I do all my charting. Even when I'm day trading like futures, I'm doing all my. I mean, here's my futures lines for today, like, and every day. I mean, I use it so consistently. But yeah, I mean, I guess I can do other things. I guess I can do Twitch. Trading's kind of a game, isn't it? So, yeah, I appreciate you guys being in here and give me some feedback and stuff. Kind of a wash with negative emotions. All right, well let me talk about the high point here. Let me bring up the Bitcoin chart. So what I like to do when I teach is I try my best to not have all this on my chart, because even me, when I see all these lines, I don't like it. I don't like this. So what I try to do is I have this profile here for fresh chart. And so we're gonna redo those lines that I have and show you which ones were important. And so the really, really important ones, let me refresh myself. So basically, this is Bitcoin on a 30-minute. Let's go up to the 1 hour to kind of clean it up a little bit. The big yellow line is the past all-time high. That's the all-time high from way back in 2021. And that is the key. That is the key, guys. And I've been saying for weeks and weeks and weeks that we have to have a close above that all-time high. A solid weekly close above it, because we don't, that's dangerous. And it doesn't matter if you ascribe to price action. It doesn't matter if you listen to astrology for men and you believe in all that kind of stuff. The bottom line is, if something is bullish, people should keep buying it. It's just that simple. There should be enough people that are risk on, YOLO longing, that they push this thing to a big, solid green bar. You really need to have a big green bar like this here for this thing to make the kind of highs that you guys wanted to make. Not you guys, but whoever. 6-figure Bitcoin, 1 million Bitcoin. You got to have that. I mean, in times past, this is what a big bull run looks like. I mean, this is what a all-time high break should look like. It hesitates, and then finally people get freaking long. It's not what we're seeing. And it looks like this is going to be a second week, third week even, that closes to hold that level. Now, I talked about, I made a post earlier this week, which you guys can go to my ideas and see, where I basically laid out like what I think is going on right now compared to the past, as well as even a long-term bullish prediction on Bitcoin. And I'll just share this and we'll start talking about the point of control here in a second, because now that I'm on this. But if there's one thing I think we can see from looking at a logarithmic chart of Bitcoin price over the course, and I don't like logarithmics for trading. I think they're useless for trading, but they're good for understanding the full range of an instrument that has gone up a lot. But we can start to see some pattern in the graph of Bitcoin, and it's starting to look a lot like that of supply, in that it is an exponential, but one that does continually increase into infinity, making higher highs, higher lows, but at a decreasing rate. And I know that lots of people have wild, crazy projections about 1 million Bitcoin happening, before the end of the decade. But I think a more conservative, a more logical approach is to think that this cycle, this halvening cycle, if it happens, if it tops out next year, is going to be somewhere around twice what it is right now in the 140, 150K. Because the last bull run that we had in 2021, it wasn't a 10-bagger like it was before. It was about a 2 or 3-bagger. The last all-time high was, 19K. This one was 60-something, close to 70K. We're only talking about 3 or 4 times as opposed to the multiple times I had before. And that's been how it's been going through every cycle. The highs have been getting higher, but at a decreasing rate. But also, what I think is going to happen, this is just mine, this is the most logical approach I can make, is that, if you want to see $300,000 Bitcoin, we'll probably see it in 2030. If this trend continues. But likewise also, that puts the low of said cycle in 2030 at about 65K. And that's the thing that keeps me patient about it, knowing that this meme about how the best time to buy Bitcoin is yesterday, the next best time is today, doesn't really apply, because that gets people to FOMO. I know that, if the price is 64K today, even if it goes to 300K tomorrow, it's probably going to come back to 65K. And that's just what the history of price of Bitcoin, the volatility, suggests. So I'll wait until everyone thinks that Bitcoin is dead, and then we'll start looking at some longs. This does not count. This pullback doesn't count as dead. There's plenty of hopium out there, yeah. So, all right. Let's talk about actionable stuff though. So let's go back to the 1 hour. We got our past all-time high, and one of the things that I've really started using, and look, I've had an ego about this, I'll admit it, where I've been trading for over a decade, and I've just been trying to keep things really simple with 50% retracement levels, where you just take from the high of a trend, like the all-time high we made, down to the low, and you just draw it at a 50%. And so that gives you, a nice level that oftentimes price does respect. It does. But there's something more to price that I've been missing. And that's, I haven't been incorporating volume. The reason I haven't been incorporating volume is 2 reasons. Number one, because I started by trading on Forex back in 2010, 2009 even, I think. 2009, 2010, I started trading Forex before crypto was invented. It's a 24-hour market. It's spread decentralized across multiple banks across the world. And so you don't have volume in Forex. And so I had to learn trading without volume. Then comes crypto. Same thing, multiple exchanges everywhere. You may have a lot of volume on this exchange because somebody got liquidated and it blows out, but you don't have all the volume for Bitcoin, or well, it was Bitcoin back then only. So I never really incorporated volume. And so I've been very hesitant, very egotistical about not incorporating volume up until I was basically 2 weeks ago, years old. And then I've got some friends of mine I've been trading with for several months. We're talking every day, and they're using this volume profile. And I started finally coming around to using it and realizing that where I would have known to short Bitcoin here just based on this price action, if we actually incorporate volume by using volume profile and we take a look at this same trend on the way down, what it does is it takes into account, let me just show volume here actually. It takes into account the volume that is happening in accordance with the price, such that it's going to identify levels of the highest volume around price. In other words, where price was traded the most, where the battle happened between traders. And so once I started doing that, I realized that a lot of these 50% I was doing, and that being my entire strategy, was actually more of an accident. It just so happened that more times than not, that point of control and bit of volume profile, the point of control is basically the point where the most volume, most trading happened. So around this price of 68,010 on Bitcoin, as this hole on the left-hand side of this histogram, which is volume profile. You can see a lot of bulges here, but the main thing is right here at that level, which is also the 50%. But what's more important is the volume profile, and that ends up being where price has an uncanny level of respect to hold. Now, at the same time, we can go back and we can look at the way up and evaluate this volume. And we can see that the volume, of the way up, the point of control was 62K. And so what price is doing right now is what I've come to see as a traversal. Price likes to hold these points of control, these places where the most battle happened, and it likes to traverse between them. And so that's where my short from this week came from. Earlier in the week, Monday and Tuesday, it was coming off this level down here. And then you can see, let me clean it up. Let's not get confused. Oh, except the all-time high thing. Hold on. When we had the Fed meeting today, or this week on Wednesday, I was more focused on futures. But the leg up, basically the trend from February to March, this segment of price and time, and really if you go back a little bit further, it's not going to change that much. That's the beauty of it. It's not arbitrary. One of the reasons I don't really trade Elliott Wave, I'm not knocking it. Some people do it. But the reason I don't trade it is because it's like, is it the one wave? Is it the two wave? Is it the three wave? How far does it go? All's kind of nebulous. But, we can go back and incorporate even more, and that point that most people traded never changes. It's right there. So it's set in stone. And so as you come into Wednesday of this week, that ended up being the precise launch point for Wednesday's action as well, which then brought us up to the point of control of the down move, which it then held to go down. It's gorgeous. It's freaking gorgeous. And I've been doing this long enough not to drink the damn Kool-Aid about some fancy schmancy indicator, that someone just invented. I mean, it makes sense. And I'm humble now enough to know, like, wow, I'm having to go back and look at all my old trades that I've been trading without it. that I've been using my 50% and my spike indicators on, and I've been back testing all of them to see. One that I was looking at today on my Discord and showing to people was Home Depot. I mean, this is a stock that I picked up last year, like a lot of the things. I mean, this has been one of the big winners of the year. Bull market, everything just from last year is working. But I picked this up in May of last year. There was a 50% of the whole weekly trend from COVID low up to its all-time high. Came back and held it a few times in 2022. This is a weekly, by the way, so very long term. And then there was a setup here on this day right here that pierced it. Well, let's just zoom down. I'll show you. One of my key things that I use are my spike indicator, which, by the way, it's free on TradingView. This is probably the last time I'll get to say it. But, guys, this is one of the reasons I said I want you guys to send me a message on Discord if you want access to it. That way, I got in contact with you, because who knows? Who knows with TradingView now? But essentially, I look for price to false breakout. In other words, that 280.62 was the level. And then what I'll do in the mornings is I'll look for things that happen like this, where price spikes down in the first 30 minutes of the day and then comes up within that same 30 minutes. By 10 a.m., it's closed back inside the range that it came from. A bunch of people got stopped out. Now they're looking to get out of their trades, and they're making it go up. And so for many years, I've combined these 50% levels with spikes to find trades, and it's worked for me. But if I go back now and I start analyzing the volume profile, I realize that the whole time a magical force has been working in the background that made me successful. And I almost feel like in a lot of cases I've kind of accidented my way to success, because it just often sometimes happens that the 50% ends up being the point of control, basically where most of the trading happened here in 2020, held the price of this stock up, Home Depot, and held it for 4 separate occasions. I just thought that my indicator, my system was just, it's just great. No, I mean, I'm humble enough to know that it is just an indicator. But when I go back and I look, I realize like that's what was holding me up this whole time. And so it's a beautiful thing, and I want to share it with you guys. And that's why I like to do these live streams, because like this is real stuff. This is stuff that freaking works. But I mean, you can go listen to somebody that tells you to buy NEO in 2021 because Biden came in and he's going to kick out all the gas cars, and oil is going the way of the dinosaur. I remember Kramer going on CNBC telling people to divest of all their oil stocks. That's the nature of popular financial media, is in 2021 to tell people like oil's going the way of the dinosaur. ExxonMobil. I leave this on the chart here to remind myself of myself and how I thought getting into it in January of 2021 was too late because I didn't catch the bottom of oil stocks. But it just didn't make sense to me. I mean, since when is oil free? Really? Think about that. For a time, oil futures traded below $0. Is oil free? But for some reason, everyone thought it was there for a brief moment in time. Everyone can be very stupid. But no one wants to admit they're wrong. So, anyway, who's roasting me? Who's roasting me, Jen? I haven't been reading chat. Tell me I'm wrong. I seek truth. Oh, Zygor? Oh, you bought... Oh, sorry, Zygor. I didn't mean to roast you. I love you, man. Yeah, the oil bears were insufferable. Well, that's the thing, man. God, when you're in that moment, when I was in the moment of, early 2021, and everyone was saying that oil stocks are going away and you should buy EV, I gaslighted myself. Like, yeah, so EV stocks, Plug Power, NEO, Rivian, Tesla, everything. Ooh, this is gross. Just somebody asked me a couple weeks ago on stream, like, what do you think about Neo? I'm like, uh, I hope I'm answering the question like you're trying to bottom pick maybe and not your bag holding all this time. I hope. But think about it, guys. Like, think about how many 100K million viewer YouTubes are out there telling you to buy Neo in 2021 and oil stocks were going to shit. Think about it. Remember it. That gets a lot of freaking views. That makes a lot of revenue for YouTube, but it doesn't make money for you. And that's a hard message that I don't know how to get out to people. I don't. Let me tell you something, guys. Appreciate what you have. I'll admit that some Fridays I don't feel like doing this, but I do it. And I kind of, sometimes I even thought it was kind of like a chore because, the whole point of this whole trading for a lot of people is financial freedom, right? So you don't have to work a job. You don't have to answer to anybody. But I did it because I want to help people find useful ways to invest, trade. I do. But sometimes I would be like, I don't want to do it. And then Jen would, give me a little like, a little encouragement. I appreciate that from him. But now I don't have that, or at least I'm not going to. And you really feel it. I feel it when it's like, oh, wow, that thing that I thought was a burden. Yeah. All right. We're in the second half. Let's catch up on some comments and let's look at some symbols. All right. So, gonna go through. Oh, Nvidia. All right, Mr. Brownstone. Let's see. Let's take a look here. So, Coinbase. Were you talking about Coinbase? Somebody wanted to short Coinbase. Was that you? They were buying puts on Coinbase this week. I don't know, but you really can't listen to me about Coinbase because I really hate Coinbase. I think they're one of the greatest destroyers of cryptocurrency, at least the ethos there is. So you really can't listen to my opinion on Coinbase. But let me try to give it objectively. So, let's do a volume profile. Let's be objective. So in the entire history, where is the point of control? Well, it's way down here. Wow, a lot of people actually picked up Coinbase in the 60s, and they're doing pretty good. So what about the people that bought the IPO? Well, that's where they are. So the people that bought the IPO are sitting at about 230. We can kind of extrapolate that from looking at it, okay? So now I've got to, like I said, I'm trying to incorporate volume profile into it. Normally I would have just looked at that 50% at 231, and what I would have said was, all right, you got a week that closed above it, a week to hold it, and then this week is going to close it. It's bullish. I hate to admit that about Coinbase, but yeah, it's the price is there, and so. But that gives us a line in the sand where I can be bearish, and I can say that if we break 231, then it's coming down. There is, if I look here, a little bit of a conflict because we have a false breakout. On Thursday, it pushed higher, did not hold it this week. Okay, so if you're short, I think someone was buying puts yesterday. Good for you. You have your line in the sand. Essentially, if you do get a break of this high, finally, it's bullish. But if you can get it back below this 231, that's going to be bye-bye. So those are your lines to look for on that. All right, so NVIDIA. Woo, NVIDIA. This has been fun. So traded NVIDIA a little bit this week with a friend, and he did a lot more than I did. I pulled a little bit out of a call because let's do the volume profile. So on the way up, volume profile's back here where people bought it up. And then from here to here, essentially, we're still in the middle of the range, so not helping us very much. What I was looking at is this spike right here that most of this week has held the 50%, or excuse me, let's do the 30-minute. And so what's happened is throughout this, you had kind of a blow off top. It sort of tried to hold it, but then yesterday it opened above, held it, got held up, and here we go. NVIDIA just won't die. It won't die. Now gravity is basically going to pull it up to the all-time high, and now we're going to have a battle for a potential false breakout or not. So I am not short NVIDIA yet, but I am looking and being patient. I can't quite regurgitate it for you, but we did have, as you saw earlier this week, because these are my trading levels, I need to go back and kind of reevaluate. We did have it down here around 853. It might have been the leg up here. No. Oh, yeah. So another thing when you're looking at the volume profile is you're going to have a lot of like spikes in the volume profile, right? There's only going to be one point of control, quote unquote, POC, which is going to be, the point where the most was, but you also need to be aware of these other points of volume inflection as well, which I call bulges, because, there's probably a better word for them, but that's what I call them. But you'll notice how this being the leg up, this movement of price action that we're analyzing, it created the floor, which this week, this is where we got our calls at. I knew we took a call on it here. I was kind of cheap, and I kind of took it off at the halfway point. But, could have just held it till the end of the week and been pretty good. But, yeah. So the reason I had those levels marked is because it's not the point of control proper, but you can see how a lot of trading and volume happened on this day, basically March 4th and March 5th, that created a big battle zone that traders defended once they got back to it as well. So NVIDIA bullish. All right. Samuel Adams. Oh, beer. I'm very bullish on sugar water. Am I bullish on all right, what you got here? Super balanced on the lows since pre-COVID weekly charts. It's kind of all over the place. Let's see. Well, on the run up, what do we got? Yeah, okay, it's holding that point of control right there. It's a little choppy for me, but yeah, it's not breaking down. Let's see here. Hood. I think some people are long Hood, making some good money. I just actually started looking at volume profile for IPO, so let's apply the same Coinbase IPO thinking that we did. So the entirety of it is obviously down here. This is where most of the action has been happening for the last couple years, obviously. But let's look at the people that got in the IPO. Where are they? Well, they're still up here as well. Okay, so most of the battling has been happening around 10, and we're breaking out. So volume profile is not going to help us. Ichimoku, breakout, weekly momentum. Robinhood's bullish. It's breaking out. Where's the target? Well, at this point, 45.91. All right, man. Good luck. AMD and soon. AMD, this little bit of gobbledygook, I know I've talked about a lot because I've got it marked up from past live streams, but that's done. It's bullish. And here's what I want you guys to focus on as a teachable moment. When price got to the all-time high that it set in December of 2021, you had the month of January and February to basically hold exactly that level, and up it goes. It's bullish. It's solidly making highs. It's doing the same thing that all semiconductors are, which is being bullish. I want to be a contrarian, and I want to find a short on these. I do, but guys, we're in a bull market. I mean, speaking to that point, If we look at ES futures, oh, let me do my clean chart. If we look at ES futures, which is the S&P 500, people ask me pretty regularly, every time we have a down day, somebody will come in Discord or ask me privately, do you think this is going to be a crash? Do you think this is going to be a crash? Do you think this is going to be no? And because what I'm going to be looking for is price to violate the Tinkinson, the red line, which is the 9-period middle. It comes from Ichimoku, but it's my line in the sand, so to speak, for when something is bullish or bearish. And I'm getting nervous, not because it's going down, but because it's going up so much. We're getting really far away from this. Like in a nice, healthy, bullish trend. Like if we go back and look at, post-COVID, we get some pullbacks to it. It keeps going up. People are like, "Oh, when's it going to crash?" But we kind of come and revisit. We kind of touch base with it a little bit, and we just keep moving up. But what you don't want, and this is what's starting to make my spidey senses tingle a bit. I'm not fudding. I'm not fudding at all. But I'm just letting you guys know from my long career and things that leave me with either good feelings or PTSD is what it reminds me of is 2018. 2018 looked like this. January of 2018, first part of 2018. This is, the bull market that basically began with Trump's inauguration, where everyone thought the world was going to end, and yet it started one of the greatest, longest bull cycles in the market's history. And then you started coming up and doing a little something like this. You're getting really far away from that red line, really far away. And then you had Volmageddon, and that's a whole different topic of why it's called that. Basically, people presumed that volatility was done. We're never going to have volatility again. Market never going to go down. We're just going to go up forever, slowly and steadily. And people traded that way. And, ooh, man, 2018 was the year for trading options. Oh, I had a good time. I had a really good time in 2018. And when I talk about options, I wasn't trading weekly options. I was trading like 3-month, 6-month options. This was back before, 2020 and Robinhood came out. A lot of people I don't think now even know that monthly options exist. But yeah, 2018 was interesting. But it basically, we had a very steady, over bullish situation, got people lured into a false sense of how the market works. And then what followed was one of the craziest years ever. That is a trader's market right there. This market we're in right now, I mean, you just long. You just own things and they go up. It's not particularly interesting. The only thing you can do is mess yourself up by selling or trying to go short. But that is a trader's market. So, am I worried we're going to crash? No. Did this week's bullishness make me a little nervous? Anytime things get a little too out of whack, I get a little nervous. Yeah. But that's just because I'm just always on guard for people to get a little too bullish or a little too bearish. So yeah. All right, let's catch up. Yeah, VO1 I can definitely keep on streaming on YouTube and Discord. I just really enjoyed Tradingview. I really did. Got a lot of good feedback from people on Tradingview. Links are below, by the way, guys. Do all that kind of stuff. All right, let me catch up on YouTube. What's up, Stone Pilot? OSAC. Yeah, I said I was going to do that for you. Let's see. OSAC, that's this. What is OSAC? Is that maybe we do OSAC USDT? I don't know. I think you're talking about a crypto because I just had a conversation with you. But yeah. All right. So TSLY. Tesla option income strategy. So the thing about, wow. Your junk, yeah, no, obviously. I think I read about this. Someone was telling me about this where basically you have a fund that is trading like options on either doing a covered call strategy or they're selling premium on something like Tesla, you're basically just putting your money behind a trader with a strategy. And past performance doesn't necessarily indicate future results. But clearly, this trader's strategy is not working. So no, if I'm going to try to do so option income strategy means they're trying to sell premium and they're losing, basically. They're not producing income. Yes, you're probably getting dividends because that's what it's doing. You're selling options, you're collecting credit. But if the value of your portfolio is going down, then the value of your portfolio is going down. And so this guy's not really working out very well. All right. Amir, links are below. Thank you, Jeremiah. Well, talking about the Fed, a lot of people are really focused on the Fed, as they should be, because they are what dictate the rates at which the markets function. And this is the 10-year. Let's bring up the 10-year here. And we don't need to see all my indicators for this. So this is the 10-year yield, and it's speculative, because interest rates now, the federal, basis rate is 5.5, but you can kind of see how that there's a differential between, the 5-year is 4.18, the 10-year is 4.2, the 20-year is 4.59, and then you have this backwardation with the 30-year, which is 4.38. And people are spending a lot of time. Like this week was Fed week, where basically, is the Fed going to change? No, they're not. But people are hanging on every word of what the Fed's going to say to try to get some sense of what they're going to do in the future. And I've heard lots of different opinions from people, and that's what they are. They're just opinions. Anything I say is just going to be opinion, because they're not going to call me up and tell me before they do it, nor are they going to be anybody else. But there's a lot of people that just presume that the Fed is going to lower rates. Why? Why would they do that? Well, I need those people to make their argument in particular, but a lot of people, they say that the numbers, the interest, excuse me, the inflation rate, the CPI, all the numbers that we base our numbers on are manipulated. Inflation is bigger than it is. Okay, well, if that's the case, why would they lower rates if they need to keep inflation higher? Well, they're like, well, they're going to do it before the election, to keep the economy going. I mean, do they need to, with the stock market making new all-time highs every week? I don't think that they're actually really. I mean, yeah, I'll talk to you about politics offline, but I don't bring politics into trading. I don't, because I don't think it actually matters. Not really, at least in any useful way. It doesn't. You can just screw you up by selling all your assets when somebody you don't like gets elected. That's not good. What they're going to do, though, is a topic of discussion that news media pundits need to write something about every week, so people read their articles and view their advertisements. The reality is, the Fed said they're going to do nothing. They're probably going to do nothing this year. And I think a lot of the people that say that they're going to have to taper, they're going to have to lower rates, they're going to have to do all this kind of stuff, they're just publishing these opinions to get people to read them and share, subscribe. But I don't think they're actually actionable. I think the Fed so far has just done exactly what they're going to say they're going to do. And I think a lot of people, here's another thing. People, like they say generals fight the last war. For the longest time, from 2011 or to 2020, everyone was expecting a housing crash. Didn't happen. Now people are talking about inflation every year. Inflation. The thing that I can kind of guarantee you guys is that a crash is not going to happen from what people think it is. It's not going to be the last crash. The fact that a crash is so extreme is a black swan event. In other words, people did not see it coming. People were waiting for housing to crash, or they were afraid of it, so they didn't go crazy on houses. People are afraid that inflation is going to go crazy, so they've bought assets. They've hedged themselves. They have taken precautions against inflation. It's not going to be that surprising if inflation goes up, because people already were expecting it. So people aren't going to be shocked and act crazy and crash anything. they do that when something they didn't predict happens. It's just the way people work. And so I think a lot of this whole Fed is going to taper thing is because people have forgotten that, and I don't even know this because, this was in the early 80s. I wasn't even conscious at that point. But, I remember when I went to sign on my first house, my closing attorney said, in his old man voice, when I signed on my first house, my mortgage rate was 15 and a quarter. And that's ridiculous. But that was the world they were in the Volcker era. That's high interest rates. 5.5% is kind of what you'd expect interest rates to be, right? Like I get 5% on something. I mean, that's a kind of a normal number. So why can't this just be normal? Well, it's because people got so used to and they really liked 0% interest rate world because money was easy to come by. You need a loan for your business to hire some people. Oh, there you go. There's some money, 0%. Want to buy some Bitcoin? Oh, put it on a credit card. Interest rates are low. Get a personal loan. Hell, I could get my brokerage offered me a line of credit bigger than I want to acknowledge for 0.9% floating during this time. I could buy anything but stocks. I could have been a smart person and bought a bunch of Bitcoin and at 0% interest. And oh man, that's what a lot of people did. Why do you think it went up there? It was cheap money. So you only need to really read about once a month what the Fed's doing, if they're going to change or not, and then act accordingly. But this everyday stuff is just to fill newspapers, or not newspapers, but Twitter accounts. That's really what it is. So just the thing that gives me peace is knowing that I don't know what the next crash is going to be. But knowing that a crash creates a very fun trading market. Lot of opportunities. Things move. You trust me. You got, this is the old man Norok here talking, but you guys don't want to be trying to trade in this market right here. Let me just say, you guys don't want to trade this. You don't want to trade it. This is the S&P in 2017, like I said before the volatility came in, where we had the lowest volatility in history, 2017, where these bars right here on the SPY are, well, let's just use the ES because that's what I would be trading. These candles, from high to low, 2017, there we go. These candles back in 2017 were only, where's my ruler? Come here, ruler. There. 8 points, 10 points. The biggest one I see here is maybe a day of 31, whereas today's high to low was 25, and that's not even the biggest one. We had just a pretty above average is 58, and that's reflected in the VIX, which is the measure of volatility. So you guys don't want to be trading in that kind of environment. You don't. You just own stuff and it goes up. But as a trader, I have the confidence, especially now with volume profile, especially with that tool, that I can find opportunities. And that's what I want to share with you guys. And that's why I do these live streams. Don't worry about the crashes you're going to hear. But you know what? Maybe I should go on Twitter and say, Bitcoin's going to move, real estate's going to crash, stock market's going to crash, dollar's going to fail. 100K views in 3 months. Maybe I should just do it. Maybe I should just do it just to prove that that's all you have to do to get a huge social media following. Maybe that's what I should do. But that's not true. At least I don't think it is. So I can't really do that, unfortunately. What's up, Beach Bum? Beach Bum's another guy that enjoys living on the beach, trading, staying true to himself. Don't you? AMR? Yeah, Zishan. AMR. All right, we're getting towards the 5 o'clock here. This is my last stream on TradingView. I hate it. I love you guys on TradingView. I'm not going to stop. At first, I was kind of having a little pity party for myself, but once I get going doing these streams, I feel pretty good. I'm just gonna miss streaming it to TradingView. I really am. So, AMR, Alpha Metallurgic. For this trend up, it has already broken the 50%. Come back. This is a daily, by the way, and it's held the 328 from the top side. That's not bullish. That is not bullish. Let's take a bigger look at the broader volume profile and the broader range. It probably has come down as trapped. It is trapped. So right now, this is trapped between, and we even have a little bit of a volume bulge right here holding it up. So right now, the price of AMR on the daily is trapped between 328 and 292. You need to get out of this range right here. In the broader sense, it's come down and held there. That's good. But yeah, you need it to break above here. But here's the thing. You don't really have the highest volume point until here. So I think it'll be good. I think this would be good for bullish. But you can see why in this shorter time frame right here, you got trapped where you did. But the bigger time frame is going to win out. And yeah, that's just making new all-time highs. I think it's pretty bullish. So don't let it go below 292. That it's revealed itself to you right there. That is your line in the sand, which it came down, held. And that's basically where all the battling, the traders that got into it here were fighting, and they held it up. But they just need to hold it there. I can't do that. Yeah, man. I feel like I'm wrong to not do the hype thing, but hopefully my enthusiasm and love of things comes through. Unfortunately, we don't get the views from just trying to teach people how to make money trading and achieve financial independence. No, and I get you may be joining late, but this is all predicated on the fact that TradingView is going to be cutting off all streaming. You're watching me on YouTube, but TradingView is going to cancel all their streaming and delete all my streams from the platform because I'm just left to presume that it's not making them any money. Maybe if I had screamed and yelled and had flashy graphics and got 100,000 views, they'd be like, oh, let's reconsider that. Maybe he's bringing people to the platform for him. But as much as I say how much I love TradingView, what a great software it is for trading, I can't trade without it. Just saying that's apparently not enough. So, yeah, that's why, guys. It's not my last stream on YouTube. It's not my last stream on Discord. I don't know if I really want to do Twitch or not. Do people even trade? I really love streaming on TradingView because it's trading. It's for trading, but I guess that's what we got to do. TradingView is not going away. They're just not going to let me stream. So, Interactive Brokers, IBKR. What about that, Megusser? I've never used Interactive Brokers. I've heard good things. A lot of people do it. It's just a lot more international friends that I have that use International Brokers, and I've always used what's now Schwab. Schwab owns everything here, basically. So my accounts are typically with them. So yeah, I'm gonna keep doing YouTube. I think I am because people are very positive about it. So all right, Casey, this is the last time, man. You have to view me on YouTube, but let's look at your breakouts. All right, so INFA. I like it. Fresh breakout. Going up. That's good. Kex. I thought it was Keck at first. What is this? KEX. Wait. Kex. Kirby Corporation? Okay, that looks better. Oh, look at that. So that's what I'd like to see on a breakout. But that's capping it a little bit before. Where you get some solid days above it. Comes back. Holds it. Let me look at a weekly instead. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's what you want to see. When you have an all-time high, mark it, and then look and see what the weeks do. Your first week of February, February 20th week closed above it. Second week closed above it. Third week closed above it. Fourth week spiked it, came back up. This week just So this is one where hopefully your 52-week high would find it for you, and you'd be able to sit here and watch it close and hold that level. All time high levels and candlesticks are so important. And this is why before I even did volume profile, I'm able to find opportunities. They're useful both to get in and get out, is because price does reveal itself in pretty simple ways. When people talk about trying to get like this latest, greatest indicator, I'm always very hesitant. That's why I was so egotistical about not doing volume profile, because I tell them, look, people were making money trading and investing 100 years ago, drawing charts by hand. So this latest, greatest thing is not really absolutely necessary, because it hasn't been necessary for everybody. It's you. The best trading indicator is yours. Kind of like, but what I say is kind of a corollary to that is, to use a Star Wars analogy, it's kind of like a Jedi. To become a Jedi, you have to build your own lightsaber. You got to build your own system, and that's what I hope to be giving you guys is, these are the things that work for me, and take what you like, reject what you don't, but build your own system, and don't buy something from somebody else. It may help you move forward, but don't think you're going to pay somebody for an easy solution to trading. And that's not going to get clicks, that's not going to get views, but that's the truth. So, all right. SMPL. I honestly don't check email, Casey. Send me a message on Discord. I tell you what, I'll send you a private message though. I will, because you've been my most consistent Tradingview viewer. I love you, man. Actually, I don't say I love you enough, but if I could cook you a brisket, I would, a beef brisket, because that's how I show people appreciation. All right, so SMLP. It's going up, 29.10, coming off a low. Let's see where the volume profile is from the low here to here. Yeah, that's just going up. All right. Is that it? Question from Andre. Can't we determine with fib and volume profile the target price? Yes. In fact, as you can. I mean, the whole premise is that price is going to, or should, play around these volume profile levels, Fibonacci's, whatever, and they should be a target. And the reason that the volume profile levels have just become so powerful and useful, like I said in the early part of the live stream, I've been using 50% levels. I've been using highs and lows as my defining points, and it's been useful. But it's behind it all was volume, and I wasn't taking that into account. But using volume profile, you bring it in, and so you add depth to the price levels where they have more meaning, where there were actually you can kind of see under the hood where people were actually trading, because people basically back here in this time period, a lot of people were buying and selling and fighting around this level. In fact, they came down. They first on Bitcoin, they came up and they hit the all-time high, bounced right off of it because it's the all-time high. Everybody sees it. Came down here to this battle zone right here, and let's do this. Let's get into it a little bit. So let's see before. Let's look at it before. So just the run up to here before we got there, still the same level. Still the same level, because all that fighting happened in here. That's where all the battling happened between February the 28th and March the 3rd. That's where all that happened. And when they spiked it down from the all-time high the first time, people that fought it, they bought it up. They got liquidated, because that's what happens in Bitcoin and crypto. They got liquidated, but they held it. And so, yes, those are levels that if you're short, you use as targets, or likewise, you use as entries, and then again, use as targets. And if you're using it again, you use as targets. And if you're a long-term hodler and you want to pick up cheap Bitcoin at prices we may never see again, you can still do it better by looking at the volume profile. So let's kind of leave it at this. Let's do one final recap. Look at the levels that I would normally have been watching for Bitcoin would have been a 50% retracement, which puts around 40, but I don't think that's going to actually be the case, because if we go back and we look at where the volume profile puts this level, it's still all the way down here. Wow, a lot of people bought it back then. Have I not done this? There was more battling down here at the bottom. Who was buying it in November of 2022, I wonder? Could it be the people that are selling it now? Well, we still have a battle line here around the 42. Let's do it from the way down. Wow, still. Most of the battling happened here. Those are some smart people. Those are some people that do this for a living. Those are some people that knew that despite the efforts of Grayscale, they were actually going to get their ETF to market. At least that's what some people told me. You got it, V1. Maybe. All right, guys. Thank you, TradingView, for giving me this opportunity to stream for 2 years. And I'm sorry you're going to delete them all because they weren't making you any money. But I guess that's what we're in the business of, is to make money, huh? Links are below if you guys want to follow me in future streams. It'll be on Discord. It'll be on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. If you like something, if you like a game or something you like to do, if you have friends that you like to hang out with on a regular basis, and maybe sometimes you don't want to, maybe sometimes you know that annoying friend you don't want to hang out with, go hang out with them, because you never know when they're going to be gone. So, have a good weekend, everybody, and trade wisely.